Hi everybody, we are the Geeks and Degenerates. I am Enzo. This is John, my forever co-host. Today we're late, but we are doing Creed 3. Yay!
Mhm. Yes, we finally earned the money to watch shit from in theaters.
Yay! We're working boys, so have patience with us. Since
Yeah,
we're not a big YouTube channel, so we have to be picky with the movies we
I mean, look at my setup. I'm in my, in my bedroom.
I mean, mine has a bit more flair. Yay!
Yeah,
But yeah, I think it's dumb to ask if you were excited for this one, because in the first Creed video you said it changed your life, so yeah.
yeah, is it?
Well, I was excited for this one, even though I was like, who? Oh, Michael B. Jordan is directing? That's interesting. I hope he knocks it out of the park, and that he did.
No pun intended. But yeah, he did. I am so happy how this movie turned out, but I will say there were some things I will mention, but we'll get there when we get there.
Yeah. And then we start with little Adonis and little Damien, and they're boxing already, and you're like, oh, cool. And did you see that Adonis has a Gundam figure?
Oh yeah, I did notice that. Like, oh shit, look at that. He has an Astray PG in 2002. Okay, like not to be a stickler for details here, but that kit hasn't been released yet in like probably 10 more years.
Look, man.
So I was like, in 2002, you had that thing. I was like, oh. In 2002, we would have like Gundams that like barely had any paint on them.
Look, man, he's the son of Apollo Creed. Maybe he has a prototype.
I guess. Don't give me that. Don't give me that reasoning.
It's the only reason I have. Anyway. And after Damien's match, you see that Damien is a formidable boxer. Like, this kid has skills. He is going to be a good boxer. And then they walk up to a liquor store, and then Adonis is like, hey, I remember you. You don't remember me. And starts beating up some random guy, and you're like, why?
Yeah. But you could tell that there is a little bit of history here, like, oh shit.
Yeah.
But yeah. And then we cut to Adonis in present, where he's doing his last match. Where he's fighting that Scottish guy?
Yeah, he's
or Irish?
the last boss of the first Creed movie, Ricky Conlon. And you're like, oh
yeah.
shit. And you see how well Michael B. Jordan directs the fighting scenes, the boxing scenes.
Yeah.
You're like, God damn.
I love that shit, man, where it would like zoom up to his face, it would track his face of him like looking, and it'll cut to the part where he was like, oh, okay, there's my opening.
Yeah.
And he would take it, I was like, oh, that's so good.
And he is once again the world heavyweight champion, undisputed world heavyweight champion, and he decides to retire. And it's an easy life with him, Amara, and Bianca. And you're like, good for him. He's earned this. After everything he's gone through.
Man, a boxing career shouldn't last long. That's the thing. It was like it's too much on the body.
Yeah.
For it to be like, oh, I'll do this till I'm 15. Well, one of our governors doing that, but like, you know.
I mean, get hit in the head too many times. You start making bad decisions, I guess.
Yeah, sir.
Yeah. But Adonis has his own gym, and life seems good. And then one day he goes out while talking about negotiations with Felix and Drago, and then he notices some guy leaning on his car, and he's like, "Can I help you?" He's like, "Can I have an autograph?" "I don't do any autographs, but you can get off my car." The guy's like, "You don't recognize me, do you?" He's like, "Oh shit, Damien."
Yeah. Or Dame, as they call him.
Yeah.
Diamond Dame was his boxing name, and I was like, that's actually a really sick name.
Played by Jonathan Majors, and you're like, I can't believe you're in like two big box office movies. One, well, this one being a bit more successful.
Yeah. I do love Jonathan Majors here a lot. Like, he steals the show, in my opinion. That's like this guy who's just like came out of prison, 12 years, fuck.
Yeah.
12 years and wants to make a name for himself, wants another chance in life of something that he's actually really good at. And he's like kind of meek. He's kind of like shy. You could tell he is a very damaged person.
Yeah, he's been
Yeah.
through a lot.
Yeah.
You also find out that between Creed 2 and 3, Creed's mom, Adonis's mom, had a stroke. You're like,
That's true.
I was like, I don't know. I don't like the setup, but okay.
Yeah. Also, they didn't say anything about Rocky.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, they didn't really update. I guess once he reunited with his kid, he just stayed with his kid.
Yeah. Good for Rocky. Again, that guy's definitely earned it.
Yeah.
And also before they meet up, or like during Adonis meets Dame again, you find out that Amara solves things with her fist. You're like, Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Like the girl who tears her paper, she's just like, boom. Like, oh shit.
Oh no, I mean, fuck you. Like, how dare you? I worked hard on that.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, rip it up. I'm like, no shit, I would resort to, like, fuck.
I mean,
What you want me to do? What you want me to do? How dare you do that? Apologize. No, fuck you. I'm gonna stand my ground, prove my point. Now you ain't gonna fuck with me again.
I'm saying that she wasn't expecting it. She's like,
I
ha ha.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm a bully. I'm gonna bully the daughter of a former boxer. That poor dumb child. Sorry, no. For sure, the little actress did their best.
Yeah. But the
But
character
was stupid.
Yeah. You know what? Maybe she didn't know, and she found out the hard way. Anyway. And then Bianca's like, you should teach your daughter not to solve everything with her fist. He's like, but what if she's in a place where she feels safe and she's in danger? What she's supposed to do?
And she isn't, yeah. No, but I see both sides of that coin. Yes. I don't disagree that like she shouldn't like learn how to fight. But like yeah, using your words and shit is fine. But you gotta learn when it's time to throw hands, you gotta know how to throw hands.
Yes.
I'm not saying we solve every problem with it. Just saying, when time comes, when shit hits the fan, you're ready.
Yeah. And then Dame visits their house, and everything seems well enough. Though, I don't know. There's some like uneasiness to Dame. You're like, I don't know about this guy. I really don't.
Yeah, he's a little. I don't know if I would say unhinged, but like a little too determined.
Yeah.
Like they did have a talk like in the diner when they first met.
Mm-hmm.
Where he's like he wants to get back into fighting. He wants to, but he's older than Adonis, and Adonis is retired.
Yeah.
Yes, this guy's old, and like pretty much out of his prime.
But he does tell Adonis like, maybe I wasn't clear. I want a title shot, and Adonis is like, what? No.
Yeah, it was like that's impossible, but you did it, and
Yeah.
at some point you got to be like, he has a point.
Yeah. And he's like, look, man, if Apollo can take a chance on a rookie, why can't you? He's like,
Yeah.
fine. Alright. But Bianca did say, oh, you're invited to the label party. He's like, alright.
Yeah, because they said they were friends. By the way, they didn't even. I don't think Adonis told Bianca that he was in a. What did they call it? It was the home. Like,
yeah. Foster home?
yeah. Like he was in a foster home that was very abusive.
Yeah.
And him and Dame were in the same house.
Even she's like, how come you never told me? She's like, yeah, I was in a foster home. She's like, oh, okay, you don't want to talk about it. That's fine.
Yeah.
Uh,
And I don't know. I felt uneasy, like, because we know that Jonathan Major's character Dame is the antagonist here,
yeah.
and then you're bringing a guy who went to prison. You took his life as a boxer, becoming the best of the best, which was his dream, and then now you're strutting him around your house, showing him everything that he could have had. I'm like, you're giving this man so much more drive than you would than you think.
And then his sparring match with Felix almost turns really ugly. You're like, Jesus Christ, this guy hits hard. It's relentless.
Yeah, and like, goddamn, Jonathan Major's body. Fuck.
Yeah.
This guy's 6'1" and he's built like that. I'm like,
Jesus
I would
Christ.
I would pass. I would say no. 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 But I do love the match once, like, when they started fighting. Like, the tactics that he used, it's very useful. Where he would, like, aim for the arm. That is a thing. Like, it is kind of illegal, but you could kind of get away with it by saying, like, oh, he's blocking with his arm. You know, like, you hitting his arm is just him, your opponent, blocking.
Yeah.
But if you hit it at the right moment, at the right spot, you can actually damage that thing.
Yeah. Even the trainers, like, telling Adonis, like, this is not a good idea.
Yeah.
You don't owe this guy anything. He is unhinged. Why are you doing this? He's like, come on, man. Give him his shot. He's like, no, I don't wanna.
Yeah.
And then you go to the label party. I like the fact that Adonis and Drago are like buddies now. You're like, good for you, man.
Yeah, they finally found like common ground, and they, like, later on into this movie, they would train together.
Yeah. And everything goes well, but like, Damien does mention about Leon to Bianca. She's like, he's never mentioned that about that to me. Interesting.
Yeah. No, I mean, hey, if he wants to keep it a secret, then that's valid.
Yeah. But Felix is there also because he and Drago have a fight, but Drago's attacked by some random guy and his arm is damaged. They specifically show that. You're like, oh no, he can't fight anymore.
Yeah. And they're like, ah, shit. It was a little bit suspicious because when a guy doesn't look at the attack and just like looks in far distance,
yeah,
you start to suspect, like, you had something to do with this, didn't you?
Yeah, he's just like, I hear sounds of violence. I shall look the other way.
Yeah. For that life is past.
The first guy that Drago hits, though, you're like, that guy's not getting up anytime soon.
God, no.
But yeah, Felix's mom's like, what do we do now? Our boy needs a fight. His contract's almost done. Like, and then Adonis is like, I have an idea. Why don't you take on Damien, since no one else will take on your son? And then the trainer again is like, no, why are you doing this? He's like, come on, let's give the underdog a chance. And then they agree, and that's where you get the cool HBO special. Like, I always like this when the Creed movies do this, where it feels like it's in real life. It's not corny, it's not anything. It's like, oh, of course it would go down like this. The champion of the world versus a nobody who's a champion as a kid, but now has to prove himself. Like the day of the fight, I do like the scene of like Adonis is just like, all right, do your best, and then they split ways, and you see that divide between Damien and Adonis. So I'm like, I see what you're doing.
Yeah.
They're just looking at each other, and they don't know. They're still there. They're just like,
yeah, where they're like, where they simultaneously like, okay, and then they just go, and I do love this fight though. Like, it is dirty, but I do love this fight where Dame kind of works smart instead of hard here. Like, he does know his way around the human body to pretty much break it down.
Yeah.
Like, he knew where to hit for the arm to just be, useless. Out of commission. Yeah. I love that scene where, he, like, what was his name again?
Felix.
Felix, like, had one really good punch on him, like, before the round ended.
Yeah.
And then they were like, let's take off your mouthpiece. And, like, a tooth followed. I'm like,
yeah.
Shit. And, like, Dane's just unbothered. I'm like, put it back in. I was like, oh shit. And I love that shit where the coach would be like, all right, this is what you do. And he pushes the coach aside and looks at Felix and sees where they're like, they're like mending him.
Yeah.
Like, like they're like, putting ice, which part of his body is the most damaged. I was like, that's actually really smart.
Yeah. It is a brutal fight, like especially towards the end, because you're like, Jesus Christ, like he's doing body punches to poor Felix. Like, I can't imagine being hit by someone the size of Jonathan Majors.
Jonathan Majors.
Yeah,
Yeah, and like he elbowed Felix on the face, and that shit's popped.
yeah.
I've seen that a lot, but like, ooh, that one was big.
But yeah, it is a nasty fight, and like by the end, Dame's like, "I did it, bro," and then Adonis is like, "No, Jesus
I
Christ."
was like, hey, yo, no, you didn't do it. I like, you see how happy he is, but I'm like, man, you can see how disappointed like Creed is at him.
Yeah.
And God,
Even
before that, when he did the elbow, like, even Creed was like,
what the
hey,
fuck?
yo, no, what the fuck, no.
So nasty though.
Yeah,
When,
if he didn't play dirty, I think Felix would have won that one.
yeah. Even Bianca's like, "I'm taking Amara. She can't watch this anymore. It's too brutal."
Yeah, like, it's too much.
Yeah. Even after the fight, the trainer's like, "I fucking told you not to do this, but you didn't listen." It's like, "I'll fix this." "No, you can't fix this. How about you stay away from the gym?" He's like, "Oh, okay."
Not gonna lie, I find that character really annoying.
Really?
Yeah, the coach, him, I find him annoying. Like, you follow Duke, you follow, like, man, shut the hell up. Like, I don't know, every time he's on screen, I just get annoyed.
Yeah.
No offense to the actor, for sure it's the writing.
Yeah, and
But, like, yeah, I didn't like him.
we get the big plot twist because Adonis' mom was like, I have a story to tell you about Damien. He sees all the letters and he's like, how could you do this? Keep me from this. Now he thinks I abandoned him. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
none of this wouldn't have happened if you didn't find me. And you're like, whoa. Jesus. Adonis.
Yeah.
Poor
yeah.
mom has a
Like,
stroke.
if it wasn't for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then she did show him like a photo, like, oh, remember that guy that was on the news that hit Drago? Yeah. Look at this photo. Who's that shaking hands with Damien? And I'm like, oh shit.
I didn't
Called
know
it, but
she
yeah.
didn't start with that. But like, by the way.
Yeah, she had to build up tension first.
Yeah. And then make her son hurt her. Like, oh, that's uncalled for, Adonis. Come on.
Surprisingly, there's only like 3 fights in this movie.
Yeah. Which is
Like,
fine.
yeah, minus the like Damien like conquering God knows how many other fighters.
His poor sparring partner's like, yeah, they're not coming back.
Yeah, like he kicks like the glove at him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the odd thing for me. Like after the fight, he's celebrating. Adonis comes in and is like, "Hey, what the fuck was that? What are you doing? Why are you doing this to me? I gave you the gloves that you needed." And he's like, "I don't need you no more. I'm a champ." The sudden heel turn from, I don't know, I liked Damien's like meek demeanor, kind of like a little unhinged but very determined
Yeah.
meek demeanor. I really liked, and then a sudden heel turn kind of threw me off, where he's like, "I don't need you, I'm the champ." And I was like, I like this character more when he was that. Like, it would have had more depth, in my opinion. Besides, like, oh yeah, now he's just an asshole instead of a guy with a dream,
Yeah.
where he is a little unhinged because he's been to prison, man, see some shit, and his best friend is living his life. So you could, like, there's so much more layers that they could have played with that, but nah, they were like, nope, he's just a straight up asshole now that would do anything to win. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, I wish they developed that plot a bit more.
Yeah, like in you know, instead of him being arrogant and like very, you know, he's just very determined, but is going a little too far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, he does also like make a point of like, I don't need you anymore. Even Dex, Creed, I forgot what he says that makes Creed angry. But he does try like,
Little Creed.
Little Creed.
Little Creed.
Like, I'm gonna take everything from you. He's like, is that a threat? It's like, damn right it is. they're like, oh,
Then decks him. I'm like, okay,
yeah.
unnecessary. But alright.
And he comes home, and then Bianca's like, Damien mentioned about Leon. Why won't you open up about the story with us? Because you have to let it out at some point. You can't just keep it all to yourself, because it will become a burden.
Yeah, it'll eat you up,
Yeah.
kind of deal. And I mean, Michael B. Jordan's acting here is where he was like, "It's done, it's done. Like it's in the past, it's
Let it
dead, let it
die."
lie." I was like,
Yeah.
like no, that I've seen that attitude before. As a guy who's like jarring up his emotions, like, yeah, we don't want to talk about the problem. Just leave it the fuck alone. We don't want to. We don't want to go through therapy with it. And I was like, I've seen that too many times.
And then Bianca's like, you better get your shit handled, because Amara cannot see you like this. And then he looks, and his daughter's like, oh no, what's happening to daddy?
Yeah. But yeah.
And he goes,
Oh yeah, forgot about that. Like after he got decked by Dame, he announces like, "We're gonna." Oh no, he didn't.
no. He goes to the liquor store, and then that's when he gets the call from Bianca of like, your mom's not in good shape.
Yeah,
This is the
she
part.
had another stroke, but I don't think she's gonna make it.
Yeah, and it's the part that starts to tug at your heartstrings, like every Creed movie. You're like, God damn it. Especially when it's like
Where
talking to Apollo. It's like, oh, Adonis, help me heal, help me learn to forgive you. You're like,
fuck.
and then it
And it
cuts.
doesn't help that he does kind of look like Apollo at
Yeah.
that point with the mustache and everything.
And then the cut of like him still talking to the mom, but then the cut to like an empty bed. You're like, fuck. God
Yeah,
damn it.
again tugging on your heartstrings.
Yeah, and then he tells Bianca the whole story of he used to be abused in the home center by Leon. That's why he snapped at him in the liquor store, but Damien saved him from Leon's boys. They were both arrested. Well, he ran while Damien took the fall. He didn't even look back. He's never even checked on Damien since then.
And he thought that like maybe if you just forget and just move on, everything will be okay. And then it bites him in the ass because he came back.
Yeah. And then he's like, he won't listen. He's done listening. And then she's like, well, maybe you just have to fight them. And you're like, hell yeah.
Nah, like I do love it where you should be like, no, you're retired, you shouldn't fight. Now Bianca was just like, do what you gotta do. So I'm like,
Yeah.
supportive wife, very nice.
He goes on the talk show where Damien calls him. He's like, you're a coward, bro. You're a fraud. And at the point, Adonis like, no, bro, we don't do it like this. Like, it's too late. We are doing it like this. Like, fine. Challenge you to a fight. Are you sure? Run it. Like, all right, run it. You're like, oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, fuck yeah. And then they would go through this whole training montage. I love this, and it is very real. If you haven't been in like, haven't done boxing before, if you've been out of the game for a bit, it is one hell of an adjustment period.
I love
Like,
how
yeah.
many injuries have you had before? And it just shows how much damage Creed has. Like, oh, you have broken metacarpals, you have a ruptured kidney thanks to Drago. How many concussions you had? And it's just him being like,
knocked out like God knows how many times. And I love the look where he's like, he has the full mustache, he's growing out his hair. He's old. Man's no Jack though.
yeah.
But you could tell that there are years on him.
So as much as you find the trainer annoying, I do love the saying of like, the higher you climb, the harder it gets. That's life. Like, damn right it is.
God damn right. Yeah. And then like, oh, Drago comes in, he's like, Drago's like the nicest guy. Out of nowhere, he's just the nicest guy. Like they start fighting, and then he gets a better handle on Adonis.
Yeah,
And
it
he's
is
like,
weird.
I think we need to take a break. And then it pisses Adonis off. I was like, the guy's being nice.
Yeah. Don't you remember your first match with him where he almost killed you?
Yeah. Just like your father.
Yes. Well, no, he takes his headgear off. Even Drago does. But I'm like, I don't think that's the. You know what? Fuck it. I'm not a boxer.
Right. No, I don't suggest that. Do not take your headgear off.
I didn't
Especially if it's just a spar.
against a man like Drago. That's extra damage right there.
Yeah.
Damien's sparring partners just get knocked out left and right. Like, yeah, no one wants to spar with you anymore. That makes sense.
But yeah, like, I love the training montage so fucking much, especially on Damien's end.
Yeah.
Like, this guy's legit training.
Yeah. Adonis pulling an entire plane. You're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Don't know
Like,
if people actually do that, but if you're watching it and you do that, salute to you, because Jesus Christ, that's an entire plane.
Yeah. Mad respect.
Yeah.
They're doing mitts works, they're doing sparring. It's like, yeah, they're getting ready. Creed has like a little bit of a stumble where he's like, all right, doesn't matter how many times you get knocked down, as long as you get back up, kind of deal. And he does, and then that's when he starts to like get back into shape.
Yeah. He climbs to the top of the Hollywood sign, or he just lets it all out. You're like, hell yeah.
All right. And then that's when we get to the fight.
Like the first time they touch gloves, you're like, all right, this is a standard thing. I do like by the end, he's like, what did he say? Oh, you're taking a break, little Creed. He's like, don't worry, I'll be back.
No, like they're doing the stare down, and it zooms at her face. This is very anime.
Yeah.
What I've heard is that they took a lot of inspiration from anime into this fight scene or into this movie a lot, and I like that. Since my favorite anime ever is Hajime no Ippo, which is a boxing anime.
Yeah, Michael B. Jordan said he took a lot of inspiration from like Dragon Ball, and that one he just mentioned, and you see it like the second round onwards. You're like, what the hell is this? It's just an epic anime fight
where it like when they're like squaring up,
Yeah.
the crowd disappears. It's just them. It's quiet. There's some metaphorical elements into it. Like he punches him, he stumbles backwards and hits like the bars of the prison.
Yeah.
I was like, that is so anime.
Creed
That is
punches
so anime.
his soul out of him. Like, even the music is anime. Like, I'm digging
Yeah.
the soundtrack.
Dude, and like when Damien's like doing this, building up, I was like, is the man gonna do a Dempsey roll? No fucking way. But yeah, I was like, I love every moment of that.
And then them just pumping each other up. Like, Damien's doing, like, and Creed just being pumping his chest.
Yeah, like they're having their moments, they're having their standoffs. All that was missing is like micro analyzing their moves like in anime, which I hate, by the way. Y'all just gotta fight sometimes. You don't need to tell us what moves they're doing or how specific or what millimeter, whatever their fucking move is doing.
And then
Anyway.
they punch each other. You're like, Jesus Christ. And the
Oh
announcer.
yeah, the simultaneous like that. I was like, yep, there you go, Dragon Ball.
And then the announcer's like, all right, that's the end of round 11. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I love that transition. Like,
Yeah.
Second round onwards was like, oh, this is their entire like trudge towards round 12,
Yeah.
and I love it.
And then again, the trainer is like gives good advice of like, walk away from whatever was and walk into what is, into the future. Be ferocious. Be Adonis Creed. You're like, I do find him annoying too, but like at the same time, like, god damn, he gives such great words of wisdom.
Kinda ish. It works for you, for me now. Like when you would like sit Adonis down, I was like, I would like to zone out. I'm sorry, I got so annoyed with the character. I was like, every time we would talk, I'll be like, I'm like, all right, I'm not listening. Oh, okay, stop talking. Okay, let's get on. Again, no offense to the actor. For sure, it was the writing, but I found him very annoying. I hate his second so much.
Damien does do an anime body punch. Like, oh my god.
Yeah.
And then
I'm like, where like it's just building up, push towards the ropes, Damon blocking, and he does the mistake of, it's an actual peek. You do that where you just like, peek a little bit, but timed perfectly, you could actually just fit a fist in there
Just
and get knocked the fuck out.
Just bam and then bam, Rick. Yeah.
Yeah. I really wish they just committed to a Dempsey role at least once. I wanted to see a Dempsey role.
And then Creed wins, and then Damien looks at him again. He's like, "Okay, I get it."
Yeah, like, so don't fuck with that kid. That kid still worked hard no matter what situation he was in.
Yeah.
Because the entire movie, Damien, sure, he went to prison, but every time he's like, "Oh, you didn't have it so hard because I went to prison." Well,
we know
Adonis
story.
is a very is a self-made man kind of deal,
Put his body through hell, especially with Drago's fight. You're like, no, Adonis has been through it too.
Yeah, doesn't matter where or when.
Yeah.
Man still went through hell.
And then he does meet with Damien after the match. He's like, all the shit we went through, it's not on you. And he's like, it's not on you either. And
Yeah.
it's like, if you need help, you know where to find me. And like, Damien's like almost crying. You're like, when will the Creed franchise stop fucking with my heartstrings?
And then like the final scene is just him with this little girl, and then they're both playing it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it is a little bit worrying when Adonis walks with a limp.
Yeah. Which is why I think this is a nice bow to end Adonis' story of like his boxing career at least.
Yeah.
Like, again, like with John Wick, like it's nice to know that these modern characters who are iconic now get to wrap their bows very nicely. Like 8 years after being introduced to Adonis Creed, we're finally at the point where we're like, all right, see you in some spin-off, I guess, but your character's done in the best way possible. I think as time goes on, Adonis will be talked in the same way as Rocky Balboa, which I find amazing.
Yeah, and who knows? I can't wait once we get another hero within the Rocky universe. Maybe Adonis will like mentor him, maybe not. I'm not sure, but I would say I had fun. I do love the anime tropes. I do love Jonathan Majors' character. I just wish he just stuck to his character.
I know there's
instead of do a whole heel turn.
I know there's an anime spin-off of Creed coming soon.
Sick. Why not?
Yeah. What would you rate Creed 3?
I would rate Creed 3 at 8.5 out of 10. Like, a lot of things happened a little too abruptly, where I'm like, okay, what? Where, mom has the stroke, Dame kind of like, the sudden heel turn, which throws me off a lot. And kind of like ruins the character for me. Not really, not entirely, but I still love him. But yeah, but everything else was like, the choreo was great. The new way of how they would film a fight scene is fucking amazing, and very anime-esque.
Yeah.
And I love it. Yeah. Would I say, is it better than the first two? Maybe not. I would say I like 2 more than this one, as an honest opinion. So it's 8.5 out of 10 for me.
Okay. I'll also give this a very high 8. I do like the character. I've always liked the character of Adonis Creed, and like the arc he goes through here. The last hurdle he has to overcome, like, alright, you have to overcome this and you're good for life. And just Bianca, and Amar, their chemistry is amazing. But not as amazing as his chemistry with Jonathan Majors, Damien, who is an amazing villain. Even though his heel arc is a bit abrupt, I still find the character compelling, and hopefully we get to see him buddies with like Drago or Creed someday.
Yeah.
But yeah, amazing. Like, I would give the last fight a 10 out of 10 alone, because that shit was amazing. Like, my jaw was on the floor. I was like, what the fuck is happening? I love this shit.
Man, I suggest watch Hajime no Ippo. It's on Netflix. It's a great time.
How many seasons?
Not season. It's a 90s anime, so they go by like episodes. There's around 70 episodes right now, but there is another one where they released in 2013 as a continuation,
Okay.
which is an additional 40 or 50 episodes. Yeah, take your time with it. Take your time with it. It's good. It is my favorite anime of all time.
All right. But yeah, since you mentioned it, so Creed 2 is your favorite of this trilogy.
Creed 2 is good. Yeah.
Right. I would say Creed 1's my favorite. Just because it's
Okay.
an amazing start to this. You know what? This is going to go down as one of the best trilogies ever, for me at least.
Yeah. Like it's always a hit. Like
Yeah.
like it doesn't miss. I will say.
Yeah.
Like one of them wasn't like, oh, this one was great, this one was bad, this one was great. You know, it was all great all throughout. I like John Wick.
Yeah. But yeah, comment below what your favorite Creed movie is. Either it's 1, 2, or 3. If you want to see more of us, please like, subscribe, and ding the bell icon to get notified of when we upload next. You can find us at Spotify and TikTok. TikTok to see our best and funniest moments, and Spotify to hear us on the go individually. You can find me at Gandalfus995 on Twitter. How about you?
You can find me at JomJ__ on Instagram. Instagram. It is my account.
And we'll be doing a couple of other boxing movies for this lineup to fit the theme of Creed. So yeah, stay tuned for that. But that's all for now. I'll see you on the next one. I'm half tempted to punch the screen, but that's Jeremy John's thing. So bye everybody.